they'll be like, where are they? Where are they? Eh?
We're
supposed
here.
to be live at 2:30 and it's 2:33, 4. Where are they? Well, here we are. Hiya,
Standard
everyone.
Hello, folk.
Oh, folk, it's a lousy day up north.
Hanging. It's proper
Isn't
hanging.
it foul?
It's foul. Looking out at window. Looking out my window. I thought I had a lyric there. I didn't. But it's proper. It's proper horrible. Pouring. Wet.
There is a lyric that you could have used.
Go on.
Michael Jackson. Looking through the window of your heart.
Well, now I know.
Oh, was that Jackson 5? That might have been Jackson 5, actually.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So, we had it all planned today. We will go shopping, meet in Oldham, outside Primani at 2 o'clock, go shopping, have a coffee, maybe do a bit of live streaming, and lo and behold, pissing down all morning. Now, we're not just talking a little sprinkle here. We're talking pissing down all morning. Now, as luck would have it, as if fate's trying to spit in us faces and tell us it's rain. Right now, it's not raining. But I guarantee at some point, it'll start again, and then we'll be like, see, we're glad now.
Yeah, yeah. We can't be stumbling out of Oxfam in recyclable bags and getting damp. It's not on. It's not on.
It just kind of ruins everything, doesn't it? So we thought, right, well, we'll have a live chat then. We'll have a live chat, and this is kind of a nice little practice for using StreamYard for the launch of the new group chat show next week. Because you never know, you know, some folk might think, well, I'm a bit nervous. I'd like to talk to you, Paul, but I'm a bit nervous about it. And of course, you don't have to be, because it's just me, little old Paul. Stuart, watched your part 2 this morning of your questions and answers.
All my probing questions.
Very, very good for you. Now, I shall tell you all this about Stuart. Stuart is a very what's the word? Because it doesn't come from a negative place. Stuart is a very private person, really. However, will happily answer questions. So this has been a very interesting series for me to watch as one of your best friends, because even I'm finding out more about you from random questions that people have asked you. Stuff that you wouldn't share unless you were asked.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny, isn't it? I suppose I haven't really thought about it that way, but you're right. I think it's the format of the actual straightforward question. I'm like, yeah, I'll talk about that. You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is. Well, we've said, because we've done like 2 assumptions videos now, but they're very different, because you're asking people to make an assumption about you or share their assumption about you and then telling them whether they're right or wrong. But direct questions are much more of an interesting way to go, really, and might invoke a little more grit.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Less Midsummer Murders, more Silent Witness. Yeah, I see that. No, it's nice. Can I just share one of my faves as well? They were all brilliant questions. One of my personal faves was, did your life change much after Basic Instinct?
Yeah.
Well, yes, it did. But
no, it's been an interesting insight into your into you, really. But just a bit more kind of in depth, you know, detail about who you are as a person and why books are so important to you, and what your favourite film in the world is, which I know, but people should watch the video. I'm not going to tell you.
No, it's not
It's
spoiling.
very random. When she told me it was her favourite film in the world, I was like, really?
Thing is, people never believe me though. They're like, and I'm like, no, but I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, mean it. I'm not spoofing. I'm like, I genuinely think it's a cinematic masterpiece. So make of that what you will. But and anyway, thank you, love. Yeah, there's 2 more to come because there were loads of questions, so many questions, and I didn't want to leave anybody's out. So I'll do 2 more to finish the series off in due course. So,
nice.
So there you go.
Nice.
Wet your ass. Ooh.
Let me try this and see what happens. Oh, look at that now. I've made juice dead tiny.
Oh. Shall I go?
That's much better. That's much better where it's kind of just, half the screen.
Yes.
Generally. Where are you? In your lounge or your bedroom?
I'm in my gracious lounge.
I'm in my lounge. I would normally be in my kitchen for something like this, but I thought, you know what? I've got my little, look at this. That's my little plastic camping chair, what I take camping with me.
Oh, yes.
Sat in front of the telly. Oh, it's a lovely chair, this, when you're camping. Hoping to get to use it at Vegan Camp Out.
Yes.
Later this year, hoping. I'm a little bit worried about my vax and all, because when I spoke to that number the other night, the 119 number, I don't know if I told you about the conversation or not, but I said to her, I said, I've got my second vaccine booked for June the 13th. However, if there's any chance of me getting it sooner, I'd love to do that. And now, of course, they're making it 8 weeks rather than 12.
Yes.
And she said, well, I'll have to cancel your original booking for your second vaccine before I can even look at booking you a different one. And I was a bit nervous about that, because I was like, all right, so you could cancel it and then there's nothing sooner and I have to wait even longer. That's the chance we take. And then she said, what do you want to do? And I said, well, if there are often gaps, I'm prepared to take the risk.
Yeah.
Because if I can get it sooner.
Yeah.
So she cancelled it and then booked me the other one. Now, about 36 hours after, I got my text message saying that my original, well, it doesn't say original, it just says you have cancelled your second COVID vaccine. But I haven't had the other text yet to confirm the new date.
Yeah.
And it was about 36 hours ago I got the one telling me my original was cancelled. So I'm like, come on, Bertha, did you write it down? Did you book it for me?
Were you leaving the office and thought, I'll do that when I get back? And then she's come back and maybe, I don't know, there was a bus strike or something, or she had a really rubbish bagel and just forgot. No, I'm sure it'll come through. It just takes time, doesn't it, with these things?
I really hope so, because otherwise I feel all right for having for having cancelled.
Yeah. Well, I told you, didn't I, the other day? I said to the day, that was about 5 weeks ago. They rang me and told me to book my first one, and then I rang back to do it because I'd missed the call, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that were a mistake. We rang the wrong person." And I was like, "Really? Okay. I mean, mistakes do happen, but it's like you got so much bloody data on me. I'm surprised that you made that error." But
you're 34, aren't you now?
Yes.
Because they're doing 35-year-olds at the moment, aren't they?
Well, 36 and over at the moment.
Is it 36?
36
right.
Is typical, isn't it? Ironic.
And then it'll be 31 to 35.
Yeah, presumably. And I'll be right down that clinic, not clap clinic, the clinic, wherever, getting jabbed. I should be right there.
You know, though, I don't think there's been enough information out there for people about the fact that, you know, in these local centres where they're doing the vaccinations, sometimes at the end of the day, they've got some left. And if you ring up, they'll do you.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. Yeah, because like people have sort of said it on, you know, like a person to person level. Why don't you ring this? Why don't you ring that and stuff? And they're like, oh, cool, I'll chase that up. But it's like, that's not really common knowledge, is it? It's like you've had to have someone say it to you. And I just don't really understand why. Because
Exactly,
it's just wasteful, isn't it? Because they got to throw the vaccines away if they've been, you know, I don't want to say defrosted like it's a pie, but but you know what I mean? It's like, well, that's just waste, isn't it? And they're always moaning on about how much everything costs. So you'd think they'd want to maximise. What do I know?
You know plenty, love.
Well, I do.
I'm having a look at comments, see if there's any questions, right? Oh, thank you, Megan, for becoming a channel member. Much appreciated. Thank you, my love. Every little helps. I'm not having that. That's not Tesco's saying.
No, you can't just claim sayings. You can't do that.
No, you can't.
No, we're not having it.
Right, we've got no questions we're missing, but you can ask us questions should you wish to.
Yeah.
Oh, Star Cradle's there. Star Cradle. To get it to the tune of Star Maker, Stuart.
I do.
Eat a buttered bagel.
Oh, I could just fancy one of them, actually.
I know I could eat a bagel.
I tell you what, people at home, I won't go into details because we need to protect our privacy, but are those vegan guys' breakfast when you've stopped over at their house when we're not in the middle of a global pandemic is second to none. I will just
especially at the weekend now. Do you know why?
Go on.
We're having Pret croissants.
Right,
you can get a bag. Oh, right, we've only ever had 2 bags so far of Pret's frozen croissants, only available, as far as we know, in Tesco's.
Right.
But they are available in Tesco's. Both Tesco's near to us, we've got them from so far. Brilliant. Both bags that we've got so recently, I've had 7 in, not 6. It says quite clearly on the packet, 6 croissants. We've got 7. You pop them in air fryer on 150 for about 5 minutes, then 175 for another 5 minutes, then back down to 150 so outside don't burn. Rip them open, shove your berries inside. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. Perfecto. So it's like our treat of a weekend, because normally through week it's crumpet and half sliced toast.
Aye. And that's really nice.
A bagel.
Yeah. It's the bagel one I love best because you got your sort of oniony, and then when you've put the berries on top, because what I do, viewers at home, sharing my beauty is I put them all on top first while I have my first cup of tea at day or coffee, whatever. And then by the time I eat the berries off the top, the juice soaked into bagel and made it a little bit sweet, but it's proper fit.
Hi, Geraldine from Ireland. I'm glad you've just discovered us today and subscribed. You should also subscribe to the Vegan Queens and the Library is Open. They're both linked in the description of all our videos. Oh, they're marvellous. Pair of right gorgeous girls from a different galaxy, the Vegan Queens. And then the Library is Open. That's her channel. This one's my channel, wherever with my husband Jason, but he's at work. Right. He's working.
Lovely. Very skilled entertainers. Very nice. Seldom a blue word.
Angerad's Life's had 7 croissants in a pack too. I wonder if it's a thing. I wonder if they've got a rebel working at factory who's like a vegan who's like, my pals want these, I'll give them an extra one. No one will know.
I hope it is. Either that or, you know, the person who's making the croissants is the same person who wrote the Beatles song 8 days a week. They can't really count, but they're doing a good turn for the humans. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Ida puts chocolate spread in hers.
Ooh, filthy. Good filthy, but filthy.
We're doing a new... we're filming a taste test video tonight. I'll tell you now, you get the scoop right here. We're filming a taste test video tonight. Like an official one. So I know that they've been done, but we were asked not to until they were in proper packaging. The naughty vegan cheesecakes.
Oh,
Which will be available in your local Morrisons store very soon. We're doing a taste test this very evening with the chocolate and the caramel cheesecakes.
beautiful.
But we've already tasted them. They sent us them before they were in their packaging and said, we don't want you to do a vlog on these. We just want to know what you think.
Oh, that's really good.
I know. And then they've sent them us now that they're properly packaged. So we're going to do a proper taste test on them tonight. Spoiler, they're freaking amazing.
I'm going to dive definitely.
Honestly, so good though. So good.
I shall certainly be tuning into that video because I'm really interested.
Well, it's not going live tonight. We're recording it tonight. Probably be up tomorrow, I should imagine.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, I shall tune in then. Gus can. I've got YouTube.
It'll be up tomorrow, and then of course, I think we're doing a shopping vlog this weekend because here's the rub. This is quite marvellous, really, when you think about it. The cooperative food have vowed that as part of their mission to be carbon neutral.
Oh, yes.
They want to promote their vegan lines as much as possible. Therefore, all prices have been reduced to match the prices of meat products.
Ain't it the truth?
Which I think is amazing. Like,
that's great.
Really amazing. So we are going to do a shopping vlog at the co-op and show what they've got. Ours isn't massive, so they'll have a reasonably small range in, I should imagine. But it's better than, it's just kind of to promote that that ethos.
Yeah.
The ethics of the cooperative as a company have always been stand out for me, and that's why I've banked with them for over 30 years now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as a Rochdale girl, co-op.
That's where they were born, isn't it?
Yeah, born and bred, me.
Sing as me go and take me to the co-op.
Well, that's good. I mean, even if it's small range, as you say, it's better than a smack round the face with an antique mangle, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's on a local, because that's what sometimes gets you, isn't it? Like on a local level, it's like it's really hard when your big branches have got the ranges, and then when you go in like your local shopper or like on your front street or something, and they've not got the same selection, that can be quite annoying, can't it?
Very.
I mean,
very. But you find it from store to store. I mean, relatively short distance between Oldham and Ashton.
Yeah.
And yet Sainsbury's in Ashton is actually better.
Yes,
and
it
I'm
is.
reluctant to say that because I'm an Oldham girl.
Yeah.
And I love my Sainsbury's in Oldham, and I do love my Sainsbury's in Oldham because the staff all know me. I never have any qualms filming in there. In fact, it's encouraged and celebrated, and all the staff watch them afterwards.
Take note, folk.
You know what I mean, though? That's really lovely, but I have to concede that Ashton is better. Somebody mentioned just previously about Aldi, the new. Oh, it was Dragon's Angel 007. Hey, Paul, you should try Aldi's hot dogs, the yum and vegan. Well, of course I'm going to. I've been messaged about 7 times. I do wish people wouldn't do this. It's like, guys, and I'm not saying you now, Dragon, but pay attention, folk. I am a vegan YouTuber. I have loads of Google alerts set for new vegan food. So I find out everything. Then I get 7 messages on Instagram, 4 on Facebook of people saying, "Hey Paul, there's this new product," and I'm like, "Love, I know. I just haven't covered it yet, but I know, and it will be featured in one of our future shopping vlogs." And so that's not saying I don't like you messaging me. I'm just saying, people, you don't need to message me when there's a new product. I know. I've got my eye on them all.
Message me about your favourite Danielle Steele instead. There you go.
Do you know, I don't think I've ever read a Danielle Steele.
I don't think I have either, actually, to be fair. I remember my nan reading them a lot, like, when I was younger. She always had one with one of them little, them little metal butterfly bookmarks that older people have.
Yeah.
Like that.
With my mother, it was Mills and Boone for a while.
Oh, Mills and Boone.
Welcome, Leanne. I've been keeping my eye closely on chat.
Lovely.
Just in case, anybody horrible came and said anything horrible, because I ain't going to put up with it.
Yeah. They should do a revamp of Mills and Boone and make them, like, really modern for today. They could have things like the vegan's last sausage, and that'd be a bit of a cheeky one, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying. And, like...
When Shaz met David.
Yeah. Confessions of a... I don't know. I haven't thought this through, but you get where I'm going with this.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're always doctors and nurses, aren't they, on Mills and Boone? Like Dr. Hot's, thorny moment. I don't know, I'm making this up. But maybe there's just some professions that aren't as sexy. It's like, is it more difficult to write steamy romance about post office workers? I don't know.
I shouldn't expect so. Why would it necessarily be more difficult? Post office workers can be very horny.
I'm sure they can. I don't know. I suppose there's something about doctors and nurses in it, like the high pressured environment and like that sort of. I don't know, that thing about, like folk going, "Oh, I'd love to marry a doctor" and all that. Do you know what I mean? There's something about it, isn't there? I suppose, but. Like, I don't think people have like mad passionate dreams about like little regional managers. They might do.
You keep talking while I move this light. I want to see if it works any better here.
What's the most attractive profession people in the chat? What do you think's, a bit spicy, gets you going a bit?
Most sexy profession?
Yeah, like if someone was like, oh, say you'd seen someone and then you found out they did that job, you'd be like, oof, that's quite sexy.
I suppose in that respect, I'm very typically gay man.
Go on, what is it?
Soldiers, firemen, and I mean defensive soldiers, not attack ones. It's important to specify.
Yeah.
It's just uniforms, doctors.
There you go.
What about you? What about you?
What about us? I don't know. I've just asked the question and realised I don't know the answer. I don't know. Something a bit poncy that you look a bit nerdy for. Maybe like, I don't know, geography teacher or something. Someone who wears...
Now, I totally get that, because at my school, there was a geography teacher called Mr. Guy. Is it called Mr. Guy? Yeah, Mr. Guy. And he drove a little red sports car, and he had, he was like, this is, mid-80s, 83-ish. He had a handlebar moustache, which was obviously residual from the 70s, but I wasn't no fashion queen. I didn't point that out. Any road, I was in a drama group. What were they called?
The Mincers? No.
I honestly can't remember. Oh, I did cause some trouble in that drama group. I was a young teenager. that middle-aged men used to buy a lot of drinks for and get me on like 4 half ciders and a terrible mouth. Anyway, I were in this drama
hard
group.
To believe interviewers, hard to believe.
And Mr. Guy, I told Mr. Guy about it, and he was really interested in joining. And what we used to do a show, and we used to take it round old folks' homes and stuff. Anyway, Mr. Guy came along, and then after like one rehearsal, and he really enjoyed it, and he said, "Oh, thank you for introducing this to me, Paul. This blah 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 blah." And then we all went to the pub, and Peter, who I was seeing at the time, bought me half the cider, and Mr. Guy got right upset. He said, "I know we're not in school time, Paul, but I have to object to you drinking alcohol. You know, you're a child." And I was like, "Oh, it's not in school, we're drama." And he never came back to the drama, and it completely changed my relationship with him in school. I think I was a bit scared of talking to him then, because he knew by then, he thought, "You're a rebel, you're trouble."
Yeah. He knew you were trouble when you walked in. It's a shame on him right now. I wonder what ever became of him.
Do you know? I don't know. Oh, what's people asking here? Oh, Hannah says, either helpful protective roles or creative ones are attractive, in my opinion.
Very true.
Oh, Annika, I saw your post, by the way. So, you know that Nush, or Nourish, whatever it's called, Camembert alternative, which is in the little round wooden box, and it was available in Sainsbury's around Christmas. Well, apparently, Farmfoods have it in at the moment for 99p.
Oh, wow, that's a bargain.
I know, and it was $3.50 in Sainsbury's. In fact, I think it's still $3.50. So 99p is a real bargain. So if you live near a Farmfoods, go and have a look. You should have a look there anyway. They've got loads of cheap stuff.
Yeah, and it's a lovely look.
They're still doing their own full range of vegan products, aren't they? I know that last time we did a farm food shopping video, Jesus, I can't even remember that. I don't think we've ever done an official one, although we've been there and then talked about it.
I suppose
we might have even done a vlog at some point, but certainly merits having another look in there.
I suppose it's been quite difficult because yours is in the centre of town, isn't it, your Farmfoods? So it's been a bit faffy, hasn't it, of late? Well, for a year and a half. You know.
Where are you on about?
Am I no, I'm thinking of the wrong place, aren't I? Which is the one that's in Oldham? It's there's like a food shop. What's it called? It's yellow and blue. Heron, that's it. I was thinking of Heron.
Yeah, the only farm foods near here are there's one on Ashton Road in Bardsley, a reasonably big one. And there's one on Manchester Road, what used to be Carpet World.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really big one. So, I obviously, for just comfort-wise, I'd be far more comfortable filming in the smaller one. But then I'm like, what if the bigger one's got a better range? But I'm always worried that some jumped-up security guards are going to come running up. This is why we don't take the camera in supermarkets anymore, because it's too big of a kit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we used to take like the hand rig, the camera, microphone, and a light.
Yeah.
And now it's just, no, we just do it on our phones.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
Well, this is the thing. You can't always be bothered having that kind of encounter either, can you? You know what I mean? Where you've got to kind of explain everything and that. And it's just like, it's just stressful.
Ajax 79 Johnston says, can't find any vegan cheeses near me. Well, what supermarkets have you got near you? And are you looking in the right place? That's not a condescending question, because a lot of people look on the cheese aisle for vegan cheese, and largely it's on a completely separate bit.
Yeah.
on its own. Sometimes, like in Tesco, it's in the same aisle as the cheese, but it's a little plant-based strip.
Yeah.
On an aisle. Sainsbury's, completely different section. Completely different section. The dairy cheese is, you know, quite a way away, and all the vegan cheese is all in one place at the end of one aisle near all the chilled vegan products, and that's only in my local Sainsbury's. You've really got to get used to your own supermarket, haven't you, and what's where.
Yeah, it was a pain at Christmas, like looking around.
Where do you go largely, Martha?
Lidl. I go to Lidl and I go to the Aldi a lot. We used to go to Morrisons, but fell out of favour with that store. It's a bit dark, so I prefer a Lidl and Aldi.
And you know, we were only saying last time we went to Morrisons, we did a vlog very, very recently in the last month. We did a Morrisons vlog. And both of us said we need to come here more often.
Yeah. It's
just
not
because they've got so much stuff in now. And even in the comments of the video we did, people were saying, oh, you missed this, or you missed that, or you just passed this, or you know, so there's even more in there. But I tell you, this is a conflict of opinion for me, because you know I'm a Sainsbury's addict.
I do.
But you know, it's better right now. Go.
What, for range or?
Yeah. Depending on the size of the store.
There you go. That's the rub, in it.
There, exactly. There's the rub. See, our store in our nearest one geographically is Failsworth.
Oh yeah,
Sainsbury's beats that. Absolutely. Right. Oldham Sainsbury's beats Failsworth Tesco hands down. Oldham Tesco on Ripton Road, the really big one, pisses all over Sainsbury's.
Yeah, it is massive.
Without its consent.
Yeah.
Thank you, Annika, for the super chat, my darling. She's, I love that, Annika. Edge, I'll be honest, I've only started looking for cheese a few weeks ago. I've got Morrisons, Aldi, Co-op. There is Lidl and Iceland and Home Bargains, not too far as well. But all quite small. Right. I might think that your best bet out of all of them might be the Co-op. Oh, Lisa, you've gone.
I'm here. Oh, say stormy weather.
Yeah, I would. I might think that your best option there would be the Co-op. However, Lidl have had some vegan cheeses in just lately, I've heard.
Yeah, they have. I'm trying to think now. Do Co-op carry Violife, or is that just Tesco and Sainsbury's?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like they do, maybe. Sorry to be very vague in the comments. I do apologise. I feel like they might. So, because, you know, like if it's a smaller one and so sometimes they will just have like Violife or something like that, like one random brand as opposed to like a full range, you know.
Stacey's just saying there, Morrisons do a few vegan cheeses, I think. Now, Stacey, completely agree with you. However, when we did our last Morrisons vlog, the only cheeses that they had in were Violife. Several different kinds of Violife, but only Violife. We couldn't find their own brand vegan cheese, because you'd think it would be with them, wouldn't you? And we looked on the entire horror cheese counter as well, and couldn't find it. And it's a reasonably big store, so I was very surprised, because I've actually had Morrison's own vegan style cheddar, and it was nice.
Yeah,
but I couldn't see it when I went into the local store. Oh, I was surprised. I was that surprised.
The problem is some shops have no consistency with their ranges.
No, I know.
And they're just like, oh, we've got this for a week or so, and then we don't have it anymore. It's like, well, don't do that. Don't get me addicted to things. What, are you some sort of negligent drug dealer? How dare you? But
so for all of you watching now, by the way, this is what the chat show would be like. However, it might be 4 people in the window. Little tiny window like this. Help me.
Hello.
Your nose looked so big then. It was
I
terrifying.
know. I'm sure it's growing, you know. It's either that or my cheeks are receding.
Well, our face shape does change as we get older.
Well, this is true, yeah.
That's a fact.
I'm growing into my father's nose, that's the thing. Cheers, Dad. Got your hairline as well. Thanks for that.
Ah, Jessica says all of the own brand cheeses in Morrisons went missing for a month or so. Then we found them again in another part of the store. They changed fridges. Oh. I couldn't find them in any of the fridges. I think I looked in most of them. Mind you, there'll be another Morrison shopping vlog at some point in the not too distant future. Like I said, we've already got a co-op one and very probably a Farmfoods one. You know,
en route.
I really want another cup of coffee. Is that bad?
What? No, have it.
Yeah, but it means I have to go and make it.
Well, that's all right.
You're going to be all right. Can you entertain the troops?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Gus Cannibal, natural burn entertainer. Well, Madonna's gone to make her coffee. Oh, look at ring light reflected there. Do you know, I'll tell you what, people at home, if you do a screenshot now, you could send this into Granada Reports and say you've seen a UFO sighting. There you go. So now I will come clean and say that I can't see the comments because I'm on my phone. And Madam's spooning coffee into her a coffee cup as we speak, but she will be back with you in due course. In the interim, I mean, I say I can entertain you. What will I talk about? Well, no, I'm kidding. Oh, I'll tell you what. Is anybody watching Sewing Bee at the moment, actually? Did everybody watch Sewing Bee last night? Because there was a lot of tea. I won't spoil it who's gone, but let's say that last week I was very bereft because the person I've been rooting for all the way through went home. No spoilers. And since then, it's been something of a trial. I'm not going to lie. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. My kettle's just boiled.
Oh, perfect. What else have I been watching? I've also been watching All That Glitters, which is it's a bit like Bake Off or Sewing Bee, but they make jewellery. But they're not enthusiastic amateurs. They're like proper people. Not proper people, but like they do it for a living, you know. I'm not as struck on that, if I'm honest. I don't know. I think it might be something to do with the judges. They're a bit poor-faced. You know, I think oftentimes a lot of these reality shows are great when it's people who don't do it for a living, so it still feels very sort of community and like supportive, whereas one of the judges on All That Glitters is just a bit sort of like that. You can tell why they had Catherine Ryan on to host it, because she hasn't got much of a personality. I'm naming no names, so I can't be done for libel. But or slander, whichever. But yeah, she's a bit bob. Oh, she's back.
Have you got Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you watched the first season. There's they've just released season 2, 8 episodes. The first season is 18 episodes. Love, Death and Robots.
No, I haven't seen it, but I have seen the advert for it.
short films and animations. The first series was incredible, so beautifully diverse in art and graphics and CGI and in storytelling. And we've already watched the first 2 of the second season. Just as good. Just as good. Some of them are really short as well, like 12, 13 minutes, but just like really impacting animations. Very good. Very, very, very good. And we've just started watching that Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh, yes. How's that?
It's very good. It's very good. If you're into that kind of stuff, if you're into superheroes and their kind of lives and backstories, then it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And the cast are hot.
All
of them.
All geography teachers and soldiers. Told you.
Oh, hi, Siobhan. Siobhan.
Hey, Siobhan.
Look what I got.
That's lovely.
It says, when it rains, look for rainbows. And at bottom it says, when it's dark, look for stars.
There you go.
What do you think about that, miasma?
I think it's beautiful, and if miasma were here, she'd be she'd be up the moon. You know what you can add to that on the other side now?
What?
When you're in co-op, look for same price as meat products. That's what you can write. Little catch up there.
Well, I should be doing that in
Probably.
I should be doing that in the upcoming vlog. It might even be this weekend, actually. The co-op. It's one of them, isn't it? Strike while the iron's hot.
Well, this is it.
And it's proper newsworthy at the moment. Can we talk about politics for a second?
We can.
Because I'm right annoyed with Netanyahu again. This is the second time he's done this. Caused or laid the foundations for the obvious cause of a new conflict, either right before an election or because he's in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's either look over there or see what I'm doing, you need me.
It's very manipulative.
Manufactured conflict. A lot of people are saying, they have no idea how this latest conflict started. Well, it started by Israeli soldiers marching through Al-Aqsa Mosque. That's how it started. Well, it started with more land grabs, more house stealing, more illegal settlement expansion, and then the Israeli police marching through Al-Aqsa Mosque. Just for record.
Yeah, there you go. Little handy facts guide. Christ.
Oh, nice, Siobhan. I'd like to see that. Siobhan says, guess who got bored the other night and let a 9-year-old give her a side shave? She did a great job, but my head is freezing. I think side shaves on girls look really hot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Which leads me back to one of my favourite songs, actually, which is Pink, What About Us? Because in that, he's got the hair scraped back. But at the beginning of the video, if you watch it on YouTube, there's somebody with a shaver feigning shaving her head. So the scrape back is meant to look like shaved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then when you look really closely, it's just her hair all like proper scraped back. Yeah. Oh, miasma. You probably, to miasma, have you heard me? Stuart, this, I'll bring you this. You saw this in our unboxing, I think.
Yes.
When we got sent candles. So this is the one that was yours, and Jay started unwrapping it. I was like, it's not yours. Put it away.
Bloody Bromley.
So make sure that you get this.
Thank you.
With your bag of birthday stuff. Part 1 of which is already here, my asthma.
Oh, my little, ay.
2 bags of them.
Oh, I love them. I can't
So
wait.
I shall make sure I get them to you. Possibly even this weekend. I might drop them off.
Oh, lovely.
This weekend, because it's the 20th now, isn't it? Which means, yeah, I'll probably drop them off this weekend.
Oh, thanks, love.
But I'm kind of hoping to see you in the week next week.
Well, yes, so am I. It's
weather being a bit better. I'm sick of this though, because I'm like, my allotment is desperate for sun now. I've planted seeds, man. They've gone in.
There's no right after all what we've been through and everything what we've had to put up with for this weather to stand, in my humble opinion. You know what I mean? There needs to be a bit of global consensus about rain, and we all need to just go, no, we're not going to do that for a little while. That's what we need to say.
Linda, indeed it did start way back. I'm talking about this latest conflict, because by and large, the Palestinians that live in the Israel annex and the Jews that live in the Palestinian annex get along just fine. That's the thing when you're talking about Israel. It's a very complex thing, because you've got Netanyahu, the politics of Israel, and then the people of Israel. And they don't always work in alignment, not at all. In fact, a lot of people in Israel are disgusted by this new assault. And it's Netanyahu doing his, you need me. Don't forget how much you need me. You need me because I don't give a shit. I'll just say, keep bombing, keep doing it. But you need me, otherwise your house is at risk.
Yeah.
That's what this is with Netanyahu. And the West just nods and goes, oh, yes, it's nice to see Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez has put a kind of motion into the Senate. I'm not sure how it all works, but basically she's raised something that, if it's approved, will stop the arms. I'm not sure if it's sale or gift. I know that America gives approximately $3.6 billion to Israel every year. And this new thing that Biden's just signed, told you I'd call him out and he was an arsehole, and he's been a fucking arsehole when it comes to Israel. He just needs to say, stop this now. Stop it. But Alexander's trying to get this, like I say, it's either gifting or it's sale. I'm not sure which, but it's 700 odd billion in arms, bombs for Israel to use on Palestinian people. Politics, man. It's awful watching America at the moment, because it's absolutely crumbling, and it's because they have the majority of the Republican Party are either addicted to Trump or too terrified to speak out.
Yeah.
Against him. And the Republican Party has just, it's become a mockery of itself.
Yeah. Isn't it always the way, though, you know, like where you sort of talking about you know, sort of trumped up things and stuff, isn't it always the way that the populations are subject to the, I don't want to say petty in the way that, I mean, it doesn't matter, but like the whims of the people who are elected, whatever, put in power. It's like, you know, it's they're like school kids, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Just squabbling over like toy
people
bricks.
Forget that though, don't they? It's like people did in this country. It was a knee-jerk reaction to voting the man who was saying get Brexit done, because so many wanted it done. Everyone was Brexit fatigued by then. Completely Brexit fatigued. But it's like, if you vote for him, you give him carte blanche to do what he wants. They don't Think about that.
Yeah, there's a sort of absolution of responsibility, isn't there? You know, oh, it went out for do with me.
Yeah.
Business, so. But hey ho. Well, not hey ho, really. It's grim. But
Lynn Aoki, I am going to recommend. I don't know if you're aware of him. There is, not that it's relevant, but I'll mention it anyway because he's mentioned it himself. There is a guy called David Pacman, who's a Hungarian Jew, actually, has a fantastic news show on YouTube, The David Pacman Show. And he did a video just today talking about his views on the Israeli-Palestine conflict, because he'd been getting a lot of truly anti-Semitic crap in his email, calling him a Zionist Jew, and you're not speaking out against this and you should be saying something, even though he's made his views on this whole thing clear very many times. He did this one video today, and his ideas very much link in with the ideas and the plans of Yasser Arafat a way back, which were actually incredibly good, a really good kind of peaceful system, saying basically, okay, we're not going to throw you out of your illegal settlements, but you must give land equivalent back from wherever that may be. It's worth watching the video because it's quite long. It's 15 to 20 minutes. Like I said, I watched it this morning. Very, very good. Just a very good. David Pacman is a very, very intelligent guy who has worked in news for, I think, a couple of decades now, or just short of a couple of decades. He has his own news show. He has a huge following. He's very fair. I wouldn't call him liberal. I would call him moderate, I think, with liberal leanings.
Okay, yeah. I hear that.
But it was a great video, one I thoroughly enjoyed this morning. So it's well worth watching. And like I said, what he outlined, based on on the past, on the present, on what Yasser Arafat said, on talks that have gone on in the past, seemed to be a very realistic, reliable thing that could be implemented. But both sides have to agree. And one of the things is that there needs to be a more stable party or system ruling Palestine, not Hamas, not Hezbollah.
Yeah,
because they've both. I understand why people voted for them, because they feel like they need protecting. They don't feel like they need protecting. They need protecting. At the moment they've got like an hour of water a day and 3 hours of electricity, if they're lucky, and they've got hospitals filled with casualties. Anyway, we'll move on from that. We're not here to talk politics, but it's worth watching David Pacman. It's also, and I will always say this, it's also very much worth, if you have only one news source, just one, try the Young Turks.
Yeah, they're great.
For American mainly and world politics. They're just a very, well, I suppose it depends on your personal political leanings. I am, I would say, very much a progressive liberal.
Yeah. So there you go. That's that.
What news do you imbibe, Stuart? That's it. That's an interesting question, actually. And let me just elaborate on that for a second and why I'm asking. I watch snippets of CNN, MSNBC, but mainly TYT.
Yeah.
That would be the YouTube news that I imbibe. Also, Brian Tyler Cohen and David Patman.
Yeah. I don't watch the mainstream TV channels news-wise or anything. Well, I say that I sometimes catch the last half hour. Not last half hour, like last 10 minutes of something if I'm switching channels. I get most of mine offline. I don't necessarily mean social media because I don't trust that per se, because it is all essentially opinion. So internet really, but I don't have a preferred news source, as it were. I'm just generally suspicious of everyone. You know, it's not like, you know, I'm not going to read an article and go, oh, it's true that, you know. I think that's important, isn't it? You've got to look at who's writing it. What would they have to gain by being objective?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the likelihood that you're just getting the facts? Because once you start to sort of recognize the language of allegedly objective news reporting, it's really easy to see when it's entirely subjective.
I tell you how I'm a tiny bit in love with at the moment. Katie Porter.
I love her. She's great. I love how she gets all like the graphics and stuff like that, and she like does.
It's like it's one of them. It's like if you're facing Congress about something, and you see Katie Porter with her whiteboard, you're done.
Yeah,
you're done.
Yeah, don't even bother. Just go, I'm really sorry. What do I owe you?
Yeah, they were talking. People can't see you. I have to lift my knees up. They were. There's been news just lately about her taking on a big pharma CEO. And basically, the gist of what she was doing, she was saying, how much of what your company makes do you spend on research and development? And he was like, oh, blah, 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 about this much. And she was like, yeah, it's that much, little tiny circle on the whiteboard. How much do you spend on, but the biggest one was, how much do you spend on stock buybacks and dividends to profit for yourselves and your stockholders? And he was like, oh, tiny, about this much. And she was like, try this many billions, massive circle.
Yeah, it was
on
huge.
The whiteboard. It's the biggest amount of money you spend. And yet, the two drugs that you provide to the American people, one of them has had, get this, 26 price hikes over about 9 years, and it hasn't changed. It's never been improved or developed, or it's stayed exactly the same. And your other drug has risen by like, one of them was had a 400 and odd% increase in price. One of them 80 odd%. Neither of them with any improvement. But right at the end of it, she was like, you talk about what you've spent on research and development to improve things. That's not very much. This is what your money goes on. Your money goes on making money, And the people that you're hurting, the people who need those medicines, who need them at an affordable price, are the American people.
Yeah.
Drop mic, walk off. I was just like, girl.
She's great. Yeah.
She's amazing.
They all sit there, don't they, smarming in their suits. Zuckerberg was the same when they had the thing with AOC. And I know Katie Porter's done it to loads of people as well. And they sit there, don't they, with the contemptuous expressions on, and she just destroys them. and it's beautiful to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because she does it from a place of real research and knowledge in what she's talking about, where she's proper gone in depth in there, and just whitewashes people with their own bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and we need more of that. Stop trying to sell me your snake oil.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm very disappointed to see that the Senate has voted against the 6-1 Commission.
Oh, I didn't read that.
Even though it was going to be bipartisan, it's been voted against. That Mitch McConnell, that stupid turtle man, he shames turtles all over the world because he looks like one, but he's not nearly as cute. He does, however, have constantly a mouth of chopped lettuce. Yeah. He's like, I'm voting against this. I made my thoughts very clear. We don't need this. And it's like, no, you do. Because the big lie is still running in America. And people like Marjorie, that green woman, are, even though there's a video of her in 2019 in the Senate or a Congress, whatever they call it, opening the letterbox of AOC's office, shouting stuff through like a petulant little child, and now she's in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So let me pussy out.
That's fine. I think you're being incredibly kind to Mitch McConnell. Do you know what he reminds me of? Do you know what he reminds me of?
He's a dreadful man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Him, Lindsey Graham, and Kevin McCarthy at the moment.
They're all,
in fact, one of the only decent people they've kicked out, Liz Cheney. I mean, I don't agree with her at all on many things because she's ultra conservative, but she stood by this whole, the election was won fairly and securely, and anyone who is perpetuating this big lie is destroying the Republican Party. I just hope she branches off and starts her own.
They shouldn't even be allowed to keep, like the girls were talking the other week, weren't they, about, yet another recount and stuff like that. It's like, who's funding this? It should just be like, no, you can't do this anymore. Like, why are people just wantonly allowed to just do what they want in these scenarios?
Because they've been led to believe by the networks that they choose to imbibe continuously, Newsmax, AON, and Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And people like Tucker Carlson is one of the most dangerous people on American television, and why he is allowed to spew. In fact, there was a court case not so long back, about Tucker Carlson and the fact that what he was spreading was not news, and Fox kind of argued and said, we don't market it as a news show, it's an opinion show. It's his opinion. It's not news.
What you mean on your channel, Fox News?
They got away with that.
Of course they
got away with that. If Americans knew it, a lot of this stuff gets hidden. Oh, Jessica's getting off. Bye, Jessica. Jessica, chat to me next week on the show. Come and chat to me. We'll talk about it in that vegan group. In fact, whoever wants to come on the show next, because it's next. When are we filming the Vegan Queens next week? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm waiting for my schedule for week.
Hopefully, Wednesday at 3:00 will be the first, because I've kind of already said that now.
Well, that's all right.
So,
I'm not.
No, but I mean, I hope Wednesday now doesn't become the only day you can film the Vegan Queens, because then Gemini will be doing the first live chat show because she won't have time to take everything off.
We'll work round it. We always do.
We manage, don't we, somehow?
We do.
You talk about some things now, Stuart. Things that irk you, things you like. Stuff. What's irking you?
What's irking me? The self-service checkouts at Asda's are really bad, can I just say? And that seems to be nationwide. Well, I say nationwide, it seems to be regional at least. They're rubbish. They take proper ages and it's supposed to be faster and it's not. That's for one. For two, what's irking me? Twitter generally, which is why I deleted it off my phone. I think it's, as many have said, other than like certain people such as your good selves and the vegan queens and blah blah blah, it's a hell site of uninformed opinions and essentially just bullying. I go on there constantly and there's people that I don't even follow, but I'm reading all their traumas of being on Twitter just because other people who follow me follow them. I don't like that either. They should get rid of that as a function. This is my soapbox moment. So they should do that. What else is irking me? Obviously Boris, because I don't like him. I'd actually see him milk crate.
Siobhan, thank you for the super chat, darling. I completely missed that. I'm in the weird space at the moment where I'm not actually on YouTube. I'm in StreamYard and it's different. Things look different for me. Oh, I'll show you. It's clever this. You can do this, you see.
Oh.
That's what I see. It's very different to YouTube.
Look at that.
Well, it's not very different, but it's markedly. It's you froze. No, you've moved again. Are you on your phone or your laptop?
I'm on my phone. Because I'm not going to lie. Before we did this chat, when we decided we weren't going out anymore because of the horrible weather, I had a little nap. So, but I set my alarm to wake up so I could come and do this lovely conversation. So I was just like, oh, we're all cunty and like, you know. So I thought I'll pick up my phone and I'll do it there. But that's okay. So yeah, twits, not half. Not
so
a
you
fan.
can't read the chats, can you?
I don't think I can.
If I do that.
Oh, hang on. Yes, I can. Yes, can. Here we go. Will and Chris, literally, when you go to, you know, the checkout to buy something, I was going to say illicit. It's not illicit, or is it? With an age limit on it, and they're like, they don't even look at you and they just click clearly over 25. I'm just like, I mean, I don't want to be inconvenienced because I don't carry ID, but also you could at least do the decency to look at me because I have recently started to use skincare. So there you go.
Miss Moore was just saying up there that she said, I'm not going to lie, I live in a bubble. And I don't pay too much attention to politics because I can't handle it. And I get that completely. It's, I think it's wise to disengage from it if you can't handle it. But I also think it's incredibly important to be aware of what's going on. However, me and Jason talk about this a lot, you know, because sometimes you can so clearly see the corruption and the bullshit, and it's so blatant, and you think, if this were any other human being in the world that did this or said this, they'd be arrested. Point blank, no questions asked. How are these people getting? So you feel powerless. You feel like you're completely powerless to do anything. However, I would rather be aware of what I am powerless to change. But that's me personally, you know.
Yeah.
And I know I can handle it because it keeps me grounded about how effed up the world is.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that. I think, yeah, I see both sides, like I say. Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying, and I totally hear what Miss Mo's Vegan Kitchen, which has a great page on Instagram, by the way, as do many of our lovely people in the chat. Follow each other. Go on, make a network. I totally hear what you're saying as well, because there's an element of it that is, it makes you so tired. And I don't mean that in a contemptuous way. I just mean the sort of, sometimes it's like having like 8 tabs open on a laptop, but in your head, isn't it? And
yeah.
level of critical thinking when you're a switched on person, and you know what, it's not big-headed to say that we are both, as is Mr. Brom, switched on people who can critically engage with things. It's exhausting.
Exactly. And I have to warn that Jason finds it far more exhausting than I do.
Yeah.
He can't handle as much input as I have. So we have a cut-off point of, you know, in an evening, it's midnight, which is quite late, but still no politics after midnight.
It's fair play.
None at all. No TYT videos, nothing.
Just pictures of cats that fall off photocopiers and things like
just
that.
That stuff, like, you know, paranormal investigators.
Oh, my heart hurts. Do you know long view? Well, of course you do, viewers at home. You've lived in the same world as me, I hope. Unless we're being streamed on like Venus or something, which I don't object to, but I would like a fee. It's been so long since we've sat and had like a let's watch Paranormal Activity videos night, hasn't it? You know, I used to love that. Watching all these
me and you, when it was like Vegan Queen's Day and you'd stayed the night before and everything, and then the next morning had our breakfast, Jason off to work, we'd sit and watch some right crap.
Yeah.
For a couple of hours.
To stop. Anything
Shall
to
we have
prevent...
another break? Let's watch this video. It's called What the Fuck.
4 hours later, we haven't got a lick of foundation on going, we'll just do this. And then you're like, well, it's lunchtime now. We'll have to do this.
Suppose we should get ready. 4:30 as Jason's walking in.
He's like, you filmed?
Just
No.
Lipstick.
Oh, happy days.
Actually, I don't know whether Most Haunted was all fake, you know. But I've got a funny theory about ghosts. I'll go on to that in a minute because it's rather interesting. So it's not mine. It was an established one anyway. It's the one that makes the most sense to me. But there was quite a lot of things in Most Haunted that freaked me the hell out. One particular one with the guy's legs.
I don't remember that one.
Any road is what I think about ghosts. I think that ghosts are recordings. I think that when you're in a high point of emotion, that emotion is so strong, it somehow records in the ether, in the atmosphere, in the energy, and it replays back. People walk through it and feel it because it's there, it's stuck in that moment. And they might actually see it or hear it or whatever. Just let me pussy in. Do you believe in ghosts, Stuart?
Yeah. I said that a little bit without conviction in the sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do. But like, you know, I'm just sort of thinking, I can say yeah, but without having a concrete idea of what they actually are. Because, see, it's difficult as well because I have to sort of separate the ideas of ghost and my non-belief in an afterlife that is in any way religious. So I have to sort of do those mental gymnastics first.
I get you. I
know
hear you.
But I like the thing about the recording because it sort of chimes a lot with what I think about in terms of like energy and stuff like that. Because we all know from rudimentary physics, is it physics? Let's say it's physics. Like you can't destroy energy, can you?
Oh, Dorcas says absolutely, Paul. The stone tapes theory.
The stone.
I don't know about the stone tapes theory, but I'm going to look that up, Dorcas. Thank you very, very much.
Well, also great name.
Have you ever? What's that story? There was a load of people, a load of ghost inventors once that spent a lot of time in a basement. And I can't remember the name of it. If anyone remembers the name of what I'm about to say now, say it here, please, will you, in the chat. And they did some experiments where they left, like, for example, they left a roll of film in a camera.
Go on.
And didn't take any pictures with it or anything, but then developed it afterwards. And there was pictures and faces and sounds on image-only film.
I would have been so scared. How scared would you be if that happened to you?
Kind of scared. The whole paranormal realm fascinates me, though. In fact, I have a video on this very channel called Paranormal Paul. It was a one-off where I talked about my theories on ghosts and what they are. And I also talked about the UFO sighting that me and my mother had together in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. I wonder if you can watch the whole Most Haunted, speaking of which. I wonder if it's on a platform. I feel like it is.
It's probably on... something.
I'll have a gander. If you don't know, by the way, I don't want to sound patronising, but you may. I don't know what the distribution likes for Most Haunted. People at home, it was a show basically where they went to a different location every week and did ghost hunts. Mostly in the UK, I think it was, wasn't it? And they had like a spirit medium. It was presented by Yvette Fielding. And there were a lot of screaming went on. And a bit of an iconic moment from psychic medium Derek Akora, who used to get possessed all the time. Yeah, Isis knows. Remember that one, Paul? Mary loves dick. We were all married.
I've definitely felt physical things sometimes, even now, even to this day. Very occasionally, but sometimes I can be in bed and feel like there's a cat on my either chest or back, very gently pruttling. Now, the thing is, all my cats have done that on me. All of them, even Agatha, who was a right loner.
Yeah.
Hello. Do you want to come back up? Let's come up for a snuckle. Come on, you know you want it. Come on. Come on. She's just had some food and she's very, very happy now. Crunching on some biscuits. Do you remember Sam? Sam, are you there, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mean to mock everyone, but Derek Akora is very performative. Like, he's very sort of, I don't know. Didn't somebody see? Well, you don't know, do you? Because people go, "Oh, such a body's a fraud," but it's like, how would you prove that? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I do.
I'm going to have to look up that stone tapes theory.
Yeah.
I do believe that energy is imprint. When you go through something, and that's what we perceive as ghosts. But then you see, that doesn't explain what people call poltergeists. They actually physically interact with objects and throw them.
I wonder if it's like combining those two theories. If the imprint itself is like a meme, yeah, a flat image that just records, and the poltergeist is more like a GIF. Do you know what I mean?
An animated GIF.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, I need to get my phone charger. You entertain while I get my phone charger.
I shall. I'm stroking my pussy on camera right now.
Oh, lovely. Marvellous. Mary. I should leave you here.
Sam, are you in here, Sam?
And then Yvette Fielding like,
what's that noise? Oh! That was a great impression.
Thank you. I might if I ever went on Snatch Game, but I won't because I don't watch the programme. Ooh.
They've said it. We've told you now. Does anybody know what I'm talking about, by the way? That old... Well, not old. I'm sure it was in the 70s. That group that spent all that... It's a very famous case. Spent a lot of time in a basement together. They did a lot of experiments. The something experiments, was it called? And they got loads of voice recordings and pictures. Some of the pictures were horrible, actually. Like a face with a big black wide mouth and big black wide eyes. Just kind of... Some of them were horrible. What are you drinking there? Pepsi Max?
A Pepsi. I'm having a Pepsi Max, yeah.
Oh.
I love a Pepsi. Well, it's not. It's Pepsi Max Cherry. I'm not a pervert. Hang on. Let me put you somewhere nice. What's lovely? Oh, that light's nice. Just plug you in.
Yeah, get plugged in, Barbara. You don't want to be...
Don't want to be dying.
Don't want to be dying. Oh, we've got a different shot now. And oh, Luke, look at that lovely fireplace.
Yeah. We are right load of Lego on it.
Is that what it is, Lego?
Yeah, it's Lego dinosaurs. I'm not Lego. Matthew.
I didn't know he was into Lego.
Oh, well obsessed, yeah. Like, he's dead good at it, but you know, like the proper deal ones and stuff like that, he saves up for them. You know, so we've got like the Death Star, you know, on the dining table and all this business.
Yeah, come on, if you want more stroking, come here. So keep walking under my legs like a weirdo. Just sit on me. See, you're on camera now. Everyone can see you.
That's what she wanted.
Everyone can see you.
I want everyone to look, but I don't want to ask for it.
That's you. That's you there on camera. That's you on YouTube right now. The world can see you on YouTube. What do you think about that?
You know, when you said that, then she went like that. Like Norma Desmond. Like a feline Norma Desmond.
Bye, love.
No, she's gone again now. Limited access. She's a special guest star, not a series regular on this channel.
Now she's going to try and jump in the laptop bag, and she knows I'm going to say, "Hi, sis. Hi, sis. Get out of that bag." Just looking at me. Sits in the bag.
She's cruising, that one.
You trouble you, child, and I've known it all your life. And I've put up with such nonsense from you.
What can I do, Kimberly? I love him. I love him. Okay.
Don't sew while you're watching us, Miss Moore, because if you get distracted and then, mess your fingers up. Look at this.
It's funny, isn't it? Because at that angle, if she turns one way, she looks like a completely different cat from the other side.
Yeah.
You know?
She's got that weird, I call it the monkey on her back. It looks like an ape crawling up her back with one arm higher than the other. I'll get a right good picture of it one day. Right good picture. I'll show folk. You with your monkey on your back.
You'll all see.
I'm so glad you've said that because it's triggered something.
What is it?
The Friends reunion.
Oh yes, everybody's talking about it, isn't they?
It's done. It's recorded. It's done. It's not like an episode.
No, isn't it like a where are they now kind of thing? And
it's a reunion, as in they're all getting together. I've seen the trailer is on YouTube.
Yes. I don't know how I feel. Like, I've
watched the trailer and almost broke me out because it was gorgeous.
Okay.
It was gorgeous. It was just the cast talking about their memories of each other. That was one little scene, and then there was a scene of them sat around a table reading through an old script and all laughing their heads off, and just all saying how much they meant to each other and back on the old set. And it honestly, we watched it over breakfast this morning, and it moved me. And it's due out in 6 days, I think. In America, there's no UK release date yet.
I'll stream it. I'm not fussed.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's going to go on a terrestrial channel or whether it might go on a streaming service. I suppose the place it would be most likely to go would be the streaming service that streams Friends. And I think Amazon does, or Netflix, one of them do.
It's one of them, isn't it? Yeah. But then again, they always had quite a good thing with Channel 4, didn't they? It was always Channel 4 with Friends.
Yeah.
Sky One as well before the two sort of. Yeah, it's funny actually because I was watching someone else's video the other day. I know, sacrilege, but and Makeup Revolution, who we know have done Friends collections, like palettes and stuff like that, inspired by the Friends. They're not very good, but okay. They can do what they want. And she was sort of talking, the YouTuber who is American. She's like, why have Makeup Revolution done this? Why are they so obsessed with Friends? And it's like, if you don't live in the UK, I kind of need you to understand how often Friends is on television to this day. Like, it's literally on every single day on multiple channels still. And that's why Makeup Revolution have done that, and that's why we'll all be watching the reunion. But I just thought I'd point that out because I know
I can't wait to see the reunion. To be honest, I'm really excited about it. But I was a big Friends fan. In fact, when I had my biggest drag DJing job, meaning the most nights, over the most venues, running for the longest time, which was in Morecambe and Preston. When I used to get picked up in Oldham, I know, used to drive over, they used to send one at Barnstaff over, because I can't drive, take me up in Oldham, take me to work, and then drive me home at early hours of the morning.
That's how famous you were.
But I would never even start doing makeup until I'd watched Friends.
Really? Yeah, because it used to be Friday nights, didn't it? Was it 9 o'clock, Friends?
No, it was. This would have been 93, 94.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on. Sure, it were on at 6:30. It was like prime time slot.
Yeah. Yeah, now you've said that rings a bell. Yeah, because it was later, weren't it, when they moved it to like, there was a lineup of 3 at one point because they did Friends, Frasier was after Friends, and then it was either Veronica's Closet, I'm going back a bit now, or I think Spin City or something like that. There was always like a lineup of 3 on a Friday night on 4. Everybody watched it because everyone were poor, so we only had the 4 channels, you see. Do you see?
Hey, I was there for birth at Channel 4. Oh, it made me feel right optimistic about my life.
First ever episode of Brookside. There you go.
Do you know what the first thing was on Channel 4?
I feel like you've told me this before. I know I can't remember. I know I feel daft. What was it?
Countdown.
You have told me this before.
It was the very, very, very first thing on.
What a way to kick off your bloody new channel.
I'll have a pee, Bob. I'm bursting.
That was the 80s humour. And
Leanne, Ally McBeal.
Yes, Ally McBeal was on.
Loved Ally McBeal. Loved Ally McBeal so much. So much.
It was a great series.
It was an amazing that scene in the courtroom when Billy dies.
Oh, I nearly swore then.
And what he says to Ali, and then what she says to his partner. She lies, doesn't she? To
Georgia, yeah.
Soothe her feelings. I thought it lost it in the last season a bit, to be honest.
The last series were weird when they brought in like Dame Edna and made Ling a judge. Like, you just got to the point where you're like, that wouldn't happen. You know, that was pushing credibility too much. Whereas actually the strength of the first series was, although it was surreal, it was rooted quite everyday problems with a bit of quirk. You know, even though when you rewatch it, because I rewatched it, didn't I? Do you remember about 2 years ago? I was like, I'm going to rewatch it all. And you're like, looking back at like how misogynistic the program was is quite something to behold.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how quickly times change and how we get so used to the new?
Yeah.
Most of us, because we're able to. That when we do look back on something, we're like, oh my God. And it's only because we're at a new viewpoint now and the world's changed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's weird, isn't it? How things kind of come to the fore when it's like if some of our American friends watched old episodes of British Alf Garnett, they'd be mortified.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was it called? It weren't called Alf Garnett, were it? That was the character.
Was it Love Thy Neighbour, Alf Garnett?
Was it? Or Nearest and Dearest?
Nearest to Dearest, Bless This House? Something like that, wasn't it?
No, that Bless This House was Sid James, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, you're right, it was. Yeah. Alf Garnett, yeah.
I love Sid.
He's proper. Sid is like a proper dirty old British man, and they still exist.
Actually, Sid reminds me of my dad a lot.
Yeah, I could see it.
Similar teeth, a big gap in his teeth, just like my dad had. Similar kind of attitude and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I should say, people are chatting here. I should show things, really. Oh, in sickness and in health. Till death do us part. Well, which one was it? Till death us do part. Speaking of Alan McBeal was my introduction to what's he bleeding called? What's he called? Through the darkness, I can see your light. I keep wanting to say Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane is a great singer, but it's not him. Someone's going to write it, and I'll be like, of course.
Come on, Chanty
I'll
Peeps.
down it, we're in Stickleton and Elf.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to remember because there were a slew of like British comedies that all had like punny titles. So
Can't believe his name's gone right out of my head.
Stand By Your Man, Upper Hand with Thingy McGann. Watching, loved that. That was
oh,
loved that. Though.
It was boredom at first sight. You could hardly call him bright.
Oh.
He is no one's Mr. Right, so what do I see in him?
Great show. Emma, what's she called? Emma, wasn't it? She's doing quite a lot, and then she sort of disappeared.
Lisa Tarbuck.
Yeah.
She were a revelation in that series. They were like, oh, she can act and she's right funny.
Yeah. Yeah, because she went on to do Linda Green, didn't she, on BBC, which never got the love it deserved, in my opinion.
Linda Green?
Linda Green, yeah. She was like, she was the title character in it. I think it only lasted 2 series, but I thought it was really good. Like a sort of sitcom. What else was good? I used to like George and Mildred, though. Man About the House and Robin's Nest and all that lot, you know.
Yeah, George and Mildred. Youth of Joyce. I've got a Youth of Joyce look. I've got a Youth of Joyce look in one of our old videos. Youth of Joyce wig and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Proper of an age. So the kind of programs that you used to be able to buy like the video box set of in like Ethel Austin's or Peacock's, whatever they're calling it now, you know.
This is doing my head in who this singer is.
Just gonna have to Google it. What was other people's favourite sitcoms?
They're all writing them. I can't believe you can't see it.
Did you bleep me? I can't believe you bleeped me. Birds of a Feather. Who? What? No, we're doing a line. From a show, not of anything illicit.
Bloody hell. Josh Groban.
Josh Groban. Seth MacFarlane. Actually, now you've said it, I can kind of see it.
Does anyone remember a series in the 80s with, she's called Stephanie Beacham?
Yeah.
Called Rags.
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Mm-hmm.
I loved that. Do you remember the theme tune?
No, not for the life of me. But I remember the show, and I remember Stephanie Beacham.
I'll sing it for you. I'm dressed in laces, and it's 12 below zero. I'm blue in the face, but I'm out with my hero. I'm putting on the show.
Excellent.
That were it. I remembered it.
Do you know what we should do when the vegan queens come back live? We should do a number. We should just medley all the classic theme tunes, edit them all together, and do a big medley. That'd be mint. Nobody know what it will, but we'd have fun.
Somebody just mentioned Love Boat. D, it's one of my favourite songs. Love Boat. Love. Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you and love, life's sweetest reward. Let it float. It floats back to you. Love boat. I'll stop now.
No, it's fine. It's great.
Soon we'll be making another run. Sorry.
In fact, Miss Gemini herself sang Love Boat theme in our last gig before lockdown, before the pandemic hit.
Oh, down at
Revs, yeah.
I also that was the first time I'd ever sang as well a song that I've loved of Marilyn Monroe's for many years called After You Get What You Want.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've never sung it before, and I'd always wanted to sing it since being a kid. And it turns out it's in my range. I can sing it.
It was perfect.
Thankfully.
Yes, because you did it at Thingy as well. We did a private gig. We are available for private gigs, by the way, providing the price is right. And it's not just in a living room, because that just gets weird. But we did that gig, didn't we, over the Christmas, actually, after that one, for that private booking. And you did it at that as well.
Were it a wedding or a...
No, it was the
residential home.
Yes. I was trying to do that without giving away the personal details. I was trying to figure out how to phrase it.
No, our residential home's fine. We did it. That was a lovely gig. That was our last gig, wasn't it?
In fact, yes, that was our last gig, and it was the week after we'd done Revs, weren't it? And then we were like closed down for Christmas, ready to come back in January or February, sorry, and then all hell broke loose.
We were all booked up. We had loads of bookings. Loads. Do you remember that last gig and all? Do you remember them shoes I'd bought? I bought these because it was like it were around Christmas time, so we had our Christmas frocks on, and I'd bought these gorgeous red shoes, strappy red shoes with all little silver studs on the front. Bought them second hand, and there I was dancing away, singing my song, and both my shoes start talking, both of them at the same time. My soles just like come off. I had to sellotape them on my feet till I got home.
Yeah. God, do you remember we sent the staff, didn't we, to go and get tape?
I needed sellotape. I had to tape them back on, didn't I? Oh, it was terrible. And I hadn't took another pair of shoes either.
No.
Because it was like...
and we were up about 4 flights of stairs as well. She's there flick-flacking downstairs. Oh, that's the glamour you don't see on telly.
There we go.
Oh, 69 comments. Well, hey, sorry.
Oh. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, that's fine.
I've just made a... Oh, dear. I'm going to have to do this. Right. The sound's going to be... No, Paul. The sound's going to be weird for a second because I'm going to have to go. I'll just mute it when I get there. Right. That's what I want right now. Thank you. Pause it. Okay.
The Love Boat.
The Love Boat promises something for everyone. I think I'm going to have to go here. Excuse me a second. I've just blocked somebody by mistake.
Oh, no.
This is what you have to cope with on bloody... Honestly, it's ridiculous sometimes. You just get such arseholes coming on your feed. It's like, if you've got nothing nice to say, fuck off.
Have we not got
Do
a
you know
job?
what I mean?
Go and do it. Senator Naughtiest man. Bye, Miss Mo. Oh, bye, Miss Mo. Take care.
Bye, Miss Small Love. Sorry about this. Sorry.
Please sing a WAP song for us. I mean,
there we go.
Queens are quite outgoing. I'm not sure we'll have a cover WAP.
Right, I think I've fixed that. Yes. Ashley, very sorry. Your comment was right next to a horrible person. I blocked you by mistake. You are now unblocked and can be seen. And the horrible person with no life is gone.
Bye, love.
Bye, love.
Bye.
People are just utter scum, aren't they? Sometimes it's like
the
world would be so much of a nicer place if people stuck to the saying, if you have nothing nice to say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, just like look at the energy that you're throwing out into the world, though. Do you know what I mean? It's like, don't, throw all that negative stuff everywhere and then wonder why you still feel the need to be even more negative. It's self-perpetuating, isn't it? You know what I know.
I feel I do feel bad for some people though, because it's like and it's one of the main problems with the world. It's probably an interesting discussion topic, to be honest, Stuart. That there are people who feel the need that they get some kind of gratification from desperately trying to be cruel or nasty to other people, and that hurt people.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
Or try to hurt people to pass it on. It's like, who hurt you?
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
Or my friend Stuart.
Never even met you.
No. We live in a funny old world. I don't think people, some people rarely ever look at themselves without the shield of their ego.
It's a very good point.
I think when people do look at themselves, it's mainly through that self filter of everything I do and say is fine because I'm me.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not give that too much effort. They seem to be, even though they became a very prevalent breed in the 90s and have stuck around, they do seem to be ebbing a little.
Yeah.
Those kinds of people, because I think a lot more people are kind of switched on these days. If you're not in touch with your own empathy, which you automatically are if you're a vegan, it can be very hard for you to own or accept that what you do or say might hurt somebody else, and even thought of it might be like, good, I wanna. You know. And I think Annika's off to work. Bye, Annika, darling.
Bye, love.
Well, I was mortified, Ashley. That's why I was doodling about so much, because your comment was right next to, and so I blocked, and then blocked what I thought was a second comment from the person. And then I realised it said, you have blocked Ashley, and I was like, no, it didn't. And if it did, it didn't mean to.
Yeah, no one ever. Why are you lying for?
And that's why I ran off and fixed it straight away. Stewie, all right for a second while I wait? 2 coffees have done this to me.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Considering I encourage you to have the second coffee. What's going on in the Grange Hill. Oh, I saw that comment. Grange Hill. Oh, I love Grange Hill. I used to love Grange Hill. Not so, well. See, I say this. I preferred the. I'm really picky on theme tunes. So do you remember the original Grange Hill theme tune, where it was like the comic strip? You know, they were like, it was like, do 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 do. I always remember there being a cartoon sausage that came out of the screen. And then when they tried to make it more sort of adulty or teenager, you know, and it went all sort of sexy, if you will, the theme tune, when it was like dun 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 dun. It was for non-UK viewers. It was a TV series set in a secondary school or a high school, if you like, in the UK. I'm not quite sure where it was actually, but it was a bit like a soap for kids. Grange Hill, ma'am.
Ashley. Saying nobody puts Ashley in a corner. I had to go into YouTube Studio into the huge list of blocked arseholes. And then it's that big. You would not believe the amount of people. I mean, if somebody comes on the channel and posts, "You fucking ugly faggot," which happens a lot more than you might think, or you look like you've got AIDS, or horrible stuff, they're just instantly blocked. I'm just like, I have no time for people like you. Report them and block them. So there's a huge list. So what I had to do then was use Google, go into the top right hand corner, 3 dots, get the list up, which was like you had to scroll right down, and then use the find feature and type Ashley. And then 3 came up and Ashley went 3rd. So I've already blocked 2 Ashleys from this channel.
Yeah, you've had a narrow escape there, Ashley, but we're glad you're back.
What are you having for your dinner, Stu? Do you know?
Nah, I ain't got a clue, love. I haven't got a clue.
What you lot having? I don't know what we're having yet, to be honest. But it's like, what did we have last night? Of course, I film them now because I do these. Over 7 days. Oh, yeah. Last night, spaghetti and meatballs. The night before, we had sausage, mash and beans, which sounds right common, but oh, it were elevated. Let me tell you. Shut up. Let me tell you this. So I did 4 white potatoes and 1 sweet potato, mashed. And then in the pan with a little bit of spray oil, I did a chopped onion and a handful of frozen sweet corn till it all got, you know, slightly golden. Translucent onions, golden sweet corn. And then mixed that in the mashed potato.
Oh, nice.
Then in the beans, I put chopped tomatoes in the beans and fresh basil. Because I thought, why not? So it was sausage, mash and beans, but it were elevated.
Yeah, sort of. What would they call it? Like for our MasterChef, there's like a word for it in there, you know, like or a food program, whatever, where they do a
elevated.
Sort of, yeah. Oh, is it elevated? Okay.
Elevated. Like unless they're talking about something which is normally in a hole and they've taken it apart, and then of course it's deconstructed.
Deconstructed, yeah.
It's a deconstructed shepherd's pie.
I'm like, are you sure you just can't cook? Is it really deconstructed? Do you know what one of my favourite teas used to be when I was a kid? Talking of common, this is common. Alpha Bites and tin spaghetti. And then what I'd do was put the tin spaghetti on top of the Alpha Bites. Alpha Bites, if you don't know, were like chips, but in the shapes of letters of the alphabet. And then all like the juice from the tin spaghetti would soak into the Alpha Bites and make them soggy. Oh, it were good. Beautiful.
Do you know what I used to do years ago? You see, I don't have tin peas anymore now, only because I found that they were not cost effective. As in, frozen peas are much more cost effective than tin peas. But whenever I had tin peas, in like my early 20s, whenever I was cooking dinner and it was something with tin peas, I used to have a slice of buttered bread whilst I was cooking dinner, dipped in the pea juice.
Grit like green water. Yeah, it's really good for you.
Apparently. I could do that straight out the tin, cold. It didn't have to be heated up. It was marvellous. So people are having, Star Cradle's having tofu.
Nice.
Ashley's having a nice spicy curry to clear her sinuses. Oh, I hope you feel better soon, Chuck. And Todd's having a risotto. Dee's having a cowboy meal. What does that mean, Dee? Oh, skinheads on toast. Skinheads in a wrap. Skinheads in a wrap, beans on toast. I think. Ashley says, I think I need some of the pickles I sent you. Hey, Ashley, I think we've got 2 more taste tests to do, chili-wise. So we've got 3 sauces lined up that are just kind of 3 sauces. We're going to do that first. Then we're going to do the Ashley special. Because Ashley sent us Psycho chili sauce, Psycho peanuts, Psycho chocolate, Psycho pickled onions, and Psycho gherkins.
I have the fear, as Lily Allen once said.
So we're going to do all of them probably in one sitting. Like stupid people.
Your mouth will be on fire.
Oh, Angarad's having jacket potato with no idea what inside yet.
Lovely.
As long as you're not having jacket spuds, you can work from there. What do you fancy? Daydream Believer just made a veggie stock. Not sure what I'll make with it yet. Gwyneth's having jacket potato and beans. Dragon's Angel, a lovely vegan noodle dish by Gokwan.
Oh.
Nice. Oh, there's loads of folks. Helen, slow cook and veggie chili, mac and cheese. Leanne's having chili.
Oh, Leanne.
Janine's having nachos.
Oh, I love nachos.
Helen and Ashley, as one of you has referenced my stomach and one of you has mentioned my little bum bum, I shall tell you something. And I'll tell you this for nothing. Do you remember when I did that chili taste test, the one with the Carolina Reaper sauce in it? And I was like, I'm fine, me. Look at me. I'm the big man now. Who's the big man? Because Jason was like, well, 45 minutes later, I'd gone to the toilet for a wee. I ended up sitting on the toilet because my stomach ache was that bad. Don't worry, I'm not going to get graphic. And the next day, my goodness, they call it ring sting for a reason. I don't ever get it, ever, with chili. But that Carolina Reaper, oh, it burned my bumble. Right bad. And it hurt my stomach and all for a good half an hour.
Yeah.
But it weren't until about 45 minutes. It got Jason within 15 minutes. And I was like, I feel fine, me. 45 minutes later, I was like, oh.
This is the thing. It gets in there and gurgles away, like when we did that noodle thing that time. And do you remember? After that, I was like, was that our tea? Because if that was our tea, I'm really upset.
I can't wait. Once we're all back to normal, Stuart.
Yeah.
And you're coming back down here again, you're going to have to try some of these chili sauces because your resistance has gone from nothing to really good.
Yeah, no, I'm not as bad. Viewers at home, I was rubbish. I was horrendous with anything hot. I cried once, and that was just a pizza. You know what I mean?
Me and Jason used to have very hot pizzas, though, always loads and loads of chili on.
Yeah.
And she had a piece one night. Yeah, she was like, trying to kill me.
But
how many times have you had my Chinese platter?
Yeah, that's true. I think.
And I haven't ever compromised on heat for that for you.
No. And I think, you know what, in fairness, that was where it started with it, because my love for the Chinese platter overcame my resistance to the heat, and it all sort of evened out. You know what I mean? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. gonna put a candle on.
Ashley, if I'm sending you offensive messages on Instagram one day saying like, "What the hell have you done to me? You're horrible." You know we've done the taste test and it didn't go well. I'm actually quite looking forward to it. I mean, it looks very ominous though, the stuff.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's got a skull on the bottle.
Oh, no. Nope.
Hey, but the Carolina Reaper one, Stuart, looks like a lovely little bottle. You kind of lulled into a false sense of security with it. It's fine and dandy. You're like, oh, look at this. This is nice, this.
But that's how they get you, like when drug dealers use ice cream vans. They make you think you're getting a 99 and then they're like, Johnson smack. No, this can't you just tell I've never engaged in that activity because I don't know the lingo at all. I'm just like, would you like some drugs?
Ida is having the Bird's Eye Green Cuisine burgers and Aldi vegan brioche buns with chips. Now, not tried those vegan burgers yet, but I've tried the Green Cuisine sausages and the chicken strips and the meatballs, and they're all really good. It was the Bird's Eye sausages we had 2 nights ago. In fact, they're quite lovely. Oh, Daydream Believer, it would well be worth a trip to Wingate, seriously. I mean, we have to drive about, it's not that far really, it's about 7 miles to it from where we live, but it's so worth it.
It's a really interesting place to look round as well, Wingate. Like, even if you don't obviously buy anything, but it's really interesting. You just get like loads of...
Go on, love, sorry.
No, just saying, you just get loads of random stuff as well as food, you know, like sort of, I don't know, like hostess things and like cute napkins, fans, all stuff like that. It's really nice.
There's another one though, isn't there? There's W.H. Leung or something.
Yeah.
And apparently it's down near 8th Day somewhere.
Oh, yes, I know what you mean. On Oxford Road, yeah. I've never been in.
Just off Oxford Road, apparently.
Yeah.
It's on one, and I've not been to that one. So, you know, that's another one. Oh, that's another shopping video we've got to do. ASM in Ashton. Last time we had a takeaway from Lily's. I popped in because it's all next door and said, could we come and film in here one day? She was like, yeah, no problem. The Asian supermarket down there is fantastic. Such a great choice of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What time is it? 4:45 to 5. Oh, Jesus.
I know, I've been on for 2 hours talking.
I know. Us two, when we get together, what we like the land.
We should have a chat show or something. Oh, wouldn't that be funny if we had like a chat show where we talked about political things and stuff, but we did it in drag.
If we were on BBC, there'd have been music there, like.
There indeed would have been.
Right,
guys, love you all to bits, but now is the time. Now is the time to say goodbye. Now is the time to make you cry. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, oh, look, oh my God, look, our ears have matched. You know what that is? That's like sympathy pains in labour.
It is.
You know, her fringe is gone and so is mine. Mind you, I'm like Rapunzel. Oh, mind you, I woke up this morning, I look like King Heathcliff. Literally, all the hair were off my face, like a sort of emo cousin it. It was nice though. It keeps your face warm, you know. But you know.
Well, Stuart, we never got to go out and go second-hand shopping, but hopefully we can pen that in for next week at some point.
Yes, I should know tomorrow what the schedule is for next week, so I can let them know.
Depending on, of course, the weather.
Yeah.
The gosh darn weather.
The darn thing's got wings.
I mean, the thing is, you cannot be shopping, walking around and streaming in the rain.
No.
Even
What
if
would
you
that
hear
be like?
laughter in the rain.
Yeah.
You know when you're walking hand in hand with the one you love?
Yeah.
Right, love.
Right, well,
Shall we
thanks for
say
having me
goodbye?
on. I've had a right good time. Having me on.
Oh no, thanks for coming. I'm glad we just did something. I was determined we were going to stream today. It's a shame it wasn't shopping, but at least we've had a good chat about bloody all sorts.
Yeah.
And I'm sure someone will, when they're lonely, will think, "Oh, watch that," and then they might know a bit more about us both.
I hope they do. They
will. Right, well, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again very soon. Oh, let me do this first. Let me do this, Stu.
Okay.
Because I can't mention something you've done and then not link to it. So.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Look, I've got more than one drag daughter, which is why I put all that effort in with Angharad. This is my oldest drag daughter, Creeping My Asthma, and there's her channel, linked in chat. Give her a sub, come on.
You know what? If you want to mute me after that and just give me the sub, I'm happy with that. Do what you want.
I always say that to people. It's like I don't think people necessarily acknowledge the importance of subs to a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And it's got nothing to do with how many of those people watch. I know people with 50,000 subscribers who only get as many views as we do with 11,000 on a video.
Yeah.
So, but those subscribers are massively important. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Stu, it's been lovely to have a chat with you and a catch up. And I did honestly enjoyed that video you put up earlier.
Thank you, love.
It was proper interesting. Oh, I meant to ask you, are you engaged?
No.
Oh.
What?
I saw a ring on your engagement finger and I was like, she got engaged and said no. And
no, as if I wouldn't have told you that. I would have definitely told you that. No, it's an old ring that I found cleaning out the other day and I thought I need to wear that because it's
And
cute.
I've never seen your Buffy tattoo either.
Do you know when I got that? It's the bloody last lockdown, just before last lockdown. And then
I haven't seen it.
I don't know, but it's there.
You always wear gloves as my asthma and it's the main time I see you.
I know. And then, you know what my short-term memory is like? I'll give you a clue. Shite.
Right, my love. Yes, we're definitely going now. Thank you, honestly, so much. Thank you, Super Chatters. Thank you, folk, lovely folk, for joining us. We'll see you again very, very soon. Till then, please be excellent to yourselves and each other. Bye, loves. Bye, loves.
Bye-bye.